Knick-Knack of the day. It's a knick-knack today. Welcome back to Knick-Knack of the day. Happy Valentine's Day. In honor of this auspicious day, I have a very special knick-knack for you. But don't worry, even if you celebrate Singles Awareness Day, or SAD, as I like to call it, you will not be disappointed. So let's get to the knick-knack. I have with me an origami Omuta rose. Now, this is no ordinary origami Omuta rose. This is the very first origami Omuta rose. You see, it goes back to Saint Valentine, of course. Now, he was a pilgrim, and he traveled from Rome to Japan and everywhere in between. But while he was in Japan, he heard rumors of an incredibly beautiful, gracious, kind-spirited woman whose name was Omuta Kenzai, and she was incredible, so much so that her older sisters, there were 3 of them, even though they weren't so bad on their own, nobody wanted to marry them because the younger sister was just, she outshone them in every respect. So, the problem with this was that it wasn't tradition in those days to let the younger sisters marry before the older ones. So, at this point, none of them had been married since nobody wanted to marry the older sisters. So, Saint Valentine comes along. He hears about this woman because she's pretty famous, because she's that incredible. And what happens is he meets her and, of course, also falls in love with her, but he can't do anything about it because, I mean, he can't, you know, marry her or anything. So what he does, he comes up with a plan to get all 3 of the older sisters married off first. And how he does that is, well, what he did was he traveled very far to find a village who had not heard of Omuta Kenzai or her many great qualities. So he got there, found a suitor, and brought him back to the Omuta family to meet the oldest daughter. And while this happened, they kept the youngest one secret, Kenzai. Didn't let the suitor meet her, because then he would have fallen in love with her instead. So a year goes by, and you know, he falls in love with the oldest sister, and eventually they get married. And you know, then he takes her back to his village, and they're good to go. So there are 2 sisters left, and then the youngest one. So he does this again. Saint Valentine goes on a voyage to find another suitor who has never heard of her, the youngest daughter. And between the traveling and, you know, the time in between, the couples getting to know each other and getting married, it takes about 5 years for him to get all 3 of the older sisters married off. But finally, he manages it, and then the youngest one is left, and he, of course, being in love with her, wants to begin a relationship with her. So in those days, it was tradition for a man, when he began a courting relationship with a woman, to give them a symbol, give her a symbol of their love, something that she could hold on to. And so what he did was he took her name, which was also a flower, Omuta rose, and he folded a piece of paper, this specific piece of paper, into the rose that she shared her name with, which is beautiful. I hope I'm that romantic when I find my woman. But the problem was that over time, one day, Omuta Kenzai misplaced the rose. She lost it. And with it, it wasn't just the symbol of their love, it was their love. And when she lost it, she lost her love for him, too. And he eventually, he had to go back to Rome, empty, lonely, and I feel bad for him. He eventually died alone on February the 14th, and that is why we celebrate it as his day, the day that the man who inspired so much love in these other 3 couples, the day that he died. It's to honor him. So just remember that. But try not to die like he did, alone and full of heartbreak. Happy Valentine's Day. My friends are having romantic dinners. I'm staying home and playing bubble spinner. Always watch Knick-Knack of the Day.